we have Mr. Wayne Dunham, class of 1980, one of my old bowling buddies, one of my running buddies, one of the guys that tried to get me into playing Rush before I started playing bass guitar, and I said, Rush sucks. Now that's all I listen to. So here's Wayne. Welcome, Wayne. Welcome to the show, buddy. Glad to have you, man.
How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good. How are you, Wayne?
Pretty good.
Go ahead. You're all clogged up. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my allergies are just killing me. We're in the thick of the pollen season. It just started yesterday. The pollen is so thick that you can draw your name like in your car now, right? And when it forms on the puddles out there, you can make a paste out of it and throw it at your favorite person. And so anyway, it's pollen season now. I love spring, but it's pollen season.
Let's move down south, honey. It's better down there.
Well, I would still trade 3 or 4 weeks of pollen for 6 months of snow and mud.
Would you really, Mr. Skier? I'm sorry.
I already
I'm
had.
sorry, Mr. Wayne. We've been making this all about us already. I apologize.
All right.
That's
So,
fine.
so we're gonna move right along then.
Yeah. Wayne, you've seen probably how many episodes have you seen? Couple, 1, 2, 3? How many?
Well, the only one I watched in its entirety was Rhonda because I'd never seen one before, so I just wanted to see what it was like.
So basically, we sort of start off and we say we graduated on a lovely June day. It was sunshiny out there. What happened once we walked off the field?
What happened to Wayne Dunham? Where'd you go? What'd you
Where'd
do?
you
What'd
go?
your life present to yourself?
After that, I went to PC3 to take electrical technology. And
Uh-huh.
that's probably when I started to get to know Dave. I never really knew him in high school. Dave Seymour, that is.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
You may or may not know, but Wayne and I commuted on a daily basis together.
I didn't know that.
As a matter of fact, let's see, we picked up.
Hollinsworth.
Yeah, it was Holly Hollinsworth. He was over in Etna. And Rich, I can't remember Rich's last name.
I don't remember anybody besides Holly.
Well, remember when we co-opted over, we'll get to this in a minute, Dave, but we co-opted at Borg Warner.
I didn't do that.
Didn't you? You didn't co-op at Borg Warner?
No.
Okay, so it was Holly, Rich, and I think her name was Marge or Marjorie. And they were Rich and Marjorie, I think, were a thing for a while. Was that right? No, that's not right. But they were living over in Dryden. So I went to Etna, and then I went to Dryden, and then we went to Borg Warner. So anyway, we went to TC3. I was trying to remember, did I pick you up on the way to TC3?
Yeah.
A lot of days, right?
Yeah, we took turns sometimes, and I think you drove more, but
Yep. Because I remember being so broke
How
that
broke were you?
I'll tell you how broke I was. I used to charge people the change in their pockets to put gas in my car. So it was like, they'd give me like 50 cents, and I'd put 50 cents of gas in the car.
how far did that get you?
Pardon?
How far did that get you back then?
Probably all week.
Well, I think gas had just hit like $1. Is that right?
In
Anyway.
1980, 81?
80 and 81. What were the gas prices in 1981?
Oh. That seems
Yeah.
high to me. Maybe you're right.
Well, I swore if it ever hit $1, I'd quit driving.
As did everybody else.
It was $1.25.
Oh, wow. Wow.
In
So did you
1970.
quit driving?
Yeah, no. Let's see.
That was a good question, Wayne.
In 79, it hit 86 cents. I don't know where these were. These were average prices. So, New York could have been higher or lower at any given point.
All right. So you and Dave shared cars, helped each other get to school. Now continue.
Well, after that, I decided to change fields, and I got in retail management. Trained at Radio Shack and Trip Hammer Mall. And then I got my first store in Syracuse, Mattydale. And then after that, I got moved to Horseheads. And then I got transferred back to Ithaca. And then I requested a transfer, and I lived in Utica for a while.
And that was all Radio Shack?
Yeah.
Wow. I had
Then
forgotten
I
you
moved
ran the radio.
around.
You ran the Radio Shack next to the Jamesway, right?
Yeah.
At Trip Hammer Mall.
Yep.
Because I remember there were two. There was one in Trip Hammer, and there was one over at the Crabtree, or not a Crabtree Mall, but the Pyramid Mall.
Right.
Hmm.
Now they're totally
Now they're
gone.
extinct. Now they're just a meme.
Yep.
All right,
After
so
that-
continue.
After that, I went to Montgomery Wards, and I was lead associate in the electronic department for a while. And then the day they were closing, or the day they announced they're closing, I had an interview at Borg Warner for a job, and that's where I've been ever since.
What year was that?
That would have been 97 that I started at Borg Warner.
Really, that late? Okay. Huh.
So
And which Borg Warner facility were you working at?
The plant one.
The plant one. Where's
Is
the
that
plant?
Portland or Groton?
Well, there was two in it. There's 3 plants in Ithaca, and there was one in Portland.
Oh,
I don't know where you were you working in the chain place, Dave, when you were co-oping?
I co-opted up on the hill going
Okay,
up.
that's right. They weren't down on Warren Road at that point.
No, this was up on going out of town on what's it, 79? No, not 79. Up by NCR and stuff.
Right. I'd forgotten they were up there. I wasn't working there then.
So they did at that when I co-op there, they had I worked 3 or 4 different departments in that thing there. They had a surface mount line, they had their air conditioner controller line. Rich and I did like a test bay, and we even worked on the line doing something like troubleshooting something. Anyway, and then they were making like transmissions and big metal things in the other half.
Yeah, now they
what
have
did you do, Wayne? What did you do in the co-op?
Did you co-op anywhere?
no, I never did co-op.
Oh, you didn't do any. Oh, okay.
Now, did you work in the in your dad's grocery store then?
Nope, he closed that when I was 11 years old.
Really?
Oh.
11.
Yep. Then they moved over on Brooklyn Road, and that's where my mother still is.
Huh. I thought the IGA was around longer than that
No,
when you were 11. So that would have been when I was 11 too, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So we talk. Okay, so being that let's pretend I'm Freeville illiterate here. So you're talking about because I remember you living in the apartment above the house above the store, Wayne.
that's where I grew up. And after they closed the grocery store, it was a upholstery shop.
Okay.
And
yes.
then that's when we got out of there.
Now, did your dad tell me a story about the grocery store? Did you guys get out of the grocery business and your dad did something else?
He went to be meat cutter at different grocery stores, and he worked at Smith Corona for a little bit.
And did your mom work or did she stay home?
I guess we lived above it, so she worked down there and came
Mhm.
back up to fix meals and so on.
Did she work at the upholstery store?
No, not the upholstery store.
Just the grocery store.
Right. After that, she worked at Smith Corona, and then she worked at Kmart with Rhonda when she was there.
Interesting.
Okay, so after all that, continue from that point. Continue on the timeline.
So you worked at the Borg Warner that was out by Warren Road then, by the airport.
Right. Still there. On my timeline as far as work or what else?
Family. You got family in there someplace.
So tell us how you met your wife
That would be through Radio Shack.
through Radio Shack.
She was going to Cortland State, and she was working part-time at the Cortland Radio Shack, and I was managing the Trip Hammer one.
Did you
And
sell her like a big stereo? Or did you get a discount on a big stereo?
No, we never really got great discounts.
So you met her at the radio through Radio Shack.
Right. Then we got married.
What year did you get married?
That's a trick question. I might get in trouble here.
Think
97.
hard. Think
Or
hard.
no, 89, I'm sorry. I got it written down over here so I don't screw up. But I'm going to
That's right. Yeah, it's on the inside of my shirt, right?
That's
right.
palm. That's palm.
That's right. Okay, so you got married in 89.
89. Then we have a son and then 2 daughters afterwards.
A son and two daughters. And then what years were your sons and daughters born?
More
It's another
trick
trick question.
questions, huh? Actually, I got it right here. I'm going to cheat.
All the
My
important
son
things.
was born in 93.
Okay.
My oldest daughter was 96, and my youngest daughter was 2002. And they're all out on their own now, obviously.
Are they married?
No, my son's in North Carolina
Mhm.
in near Boone.
Okay.
My other daughters, they live with their boyfriends. One lives in New Jersey, and she teaches in New York, goes to school in the city. And the other one went to Cortland State, and she teaches at IC3 and
In
gets
where?
IC3.
I don't know what that means.
It's the daycare type place.
Oh, okay. Any grandkids at this point?
Nope, not yet.
No grandkids yet. All right.
Wayne, you and I go way back, man. Way back to the bowling days. Actually,
Yep.
some of my bowling was influenced by that guy right there, Dave.
Yeah, there was a bunch of us there.
Yeah.
It was me,
And
you,
Jeff, Brian,
Joe,
Joe
Joe Kaz,
who?
Joe
Oh, yeah,
Kaz,
Joe Kaz. That's right. Joe Kaz. I forgot about that. Yep.
Will Kaz,
Yep.
Jeff Markle. He bowled, didn't he?
Yep. Jeff bowled with us. Yep. Yep.
I want to say
Brian.
McCartney was bowling too, right?
Yeah. Doug McCartney bowled with us too. He sure
He
did.
bowled in the youth league.
Yep.
I don't
He did.
remember him bowling
Yep.
there.
Yep.
I never,
pretty much,
almost never.
I pretty much gave up bowling now.
I got back into it.
Yeah, that's what I heard you say on Rhonda's thing.
Yeah. Got back into it. And I bet you didn't know this, Dave,
What's that?
that Wayne was a bass player for a little while. Weren't you,
You know
Wayne?
You know what, Dave? I didn't know that either.
You're being modest. You're being modest.
I played with not bass, but just the six string a little bit.
Well, I remember. No, now hang on. Don't tell me you forgot this. I remember the one day you bought that big, huge behemoth Fender Precision copy, 4,000-pound bass, and I went to your house and played it.
I think you got me mixed up with somebody
No,
else.
I do not. No, I do not.
Or my memory is really shot.
No, I remember that. And Steve Plore did the same kind of thing too. He bought a bass for a while too. He had a bass. It was all of a sudden all the rage.
Well, you know, Gary Bordonero left a trail of bass players through Central New York.
Yeah, that's probably very true. That's probably very true. So yeah, between music and the Rush story is with Wayne that way before I started playing bass, well, maybe not way,
Mhm.
Wayne was just bragging up big time about Rush and 2112, and I absolutely hated him. Couldn't stand him. And I was still in my pop music phase at that point in time. And Wayne did everything he could to get me to listen to Rush. I was like, man, that's horse shit. That's horrible stuff. That's bad stuff. Every day. Hey, you gotta listen to 2112. You gotta listen to 2112.
Here's my impression of Wayne's musical taste. It was Scorpions, AC/DC, Rush, and who the other heavy metal bands at the time?
At that time,
Probably Judas Priest.
Judas
Well, you were a big
Priest,
Dio fan too back then, weren't you?
not really. Not too
Okay.
much.
But you were into
Okay.
AC/DC, I know that.
Yeah, AC/DC I was.
I think you had some t-shirts.
Probably did. I still got lots of t-shirts.
So
Dave made me jealous going to see Dream Theater and get backstage passes.
Oh, that was a concert.
Yeah, I saw them a few years ago, but I
Yes.
didn't get to go backstage.
Well, to make a long story longer, I have a buddy who was dating John Petrucci's wife in New York City.
Oh,
Was
And
it his wife at the time?
no, it was not. It was his wife, and somehow, you know, they broke up or whatever, and Donnie got married to somebody else, and but they stayed friends. And so whenever Dream Theater comes through North Carolina, he tries to you know, get some comp passes and stuff like that. because he calls her up and goes, "Hey, could you give me some backstage passes?" So anyway, one time it worked. So I got a picture with John Myung and the whole band.
Why is it that up on a frame someplace?
It is.
Oh, good.
I'm not
Oh,
showing it to you though,
well, fine. Whatever.
because it didn't really happen.
Oh,
No, it did happen, but that's a different
no.
story.
So Wayne, get back to bowling. When did you stop bowling, and why did you stop bowling? Because you were a good bowler.
After the junior league, I didn't really never got into another league. I used to go open bowling a lot with I don't know if you know Mike Reitmeyer, but
No.
we used to hang out a lot.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get in the league during all because you were pretty good, man. You were pretty good.
Yeah, I was okay. Not
Oh,
like
oh,
you.
so
Would you say you got a 209 average now?
you're being modest. Oh, 207, but stop. Stop.
I knew I was close.
Yeah, no. No, I couldn't wait to get back into it when I retired. I said the first thing I'm gonna do is get in a bowling league because I hadn't done it in 15 years. So the running thing. When did you get into running and why?
Why? The year I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Okay.
Why? My son was playing basketball for Groton. He
Uh-huh.
didn't get a whole lot of playing time. He was pretty good,
Uh-huh.
but and my wife ran in college and high school, so she got him to do that. And
Okay.
then next thing I know, she's doing it. And I said,
Okay.
it's stupid. Why would you want to do that? Now I'm the only one doing it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And I remember, so your son, because I remember he ran the Leaf Peeper half marathon with us that one day. And Dave, his son can freaking run. Is he still doing track type things, Wayne?
Mm, not much that I know of.
Do you remember what his time was for that one half marathon?
One
He did
hour
he
and 25 minutes.
for the half? Are you
Yeah.
sure? It was no, not the half.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I was just told by the boss.
Oh, okay. All I remember, Dave, is he finished like 35 minutes ahead of me and Wayne.
Now,
So
a good marathon, like the expert marathoners break 2 hours now, right? Or is it
that's
2 hours?
2 hours, yeah.
2 hours.
And my fastest half is 1 hour and 56. That's my fastest half.
Gotcha.
Mine is 2:15, I think, around
Yeah,
there.
it's yeah. But his son was like, pew, it's gone. Did he make like did he that year in track and school, didn't he do some sort of or get some sort of award or wasn't he some state level champ or something like that? Brag on
He
your
went
kids a
to
little bit.
in cross country. He went to states, but he didn't win it. He was Groton's top runner for the time he was running, pretty most of the time.
Now did your daughters do sports at all?
They, my oldest daughter did cross country. She did volleyball, and I think that's about it, wasn't it? And my youngest was a cheerleader, but she did
Oh.
cross country too. After that, none of them really did sports in college or anything like that.
And
Mhm.
you're still running.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're still doing it, man. I'm glad your body's holding up and your knees are holding up, and that's
Yeah,
pretty impressive at our age.
I was going to ask about the knees. How are your knees doing?
they're doing fine. Hasn't
Uh,
bothered me. How about yours, Dave?
uh, so my knees don't hurt anymore. I don't have to do injections anymore. That stuff stopped. I had my last injection over a year ago, and I was getting pretty regularly, but since changed everything up with the diet and everything, I haven't had any knee pain at all. I can move my knees perfectly now. I just don't. I'm a little bit shy to go out and run anymore. I'm just a little bit. I miss it terribly. I just don't want to risk it. So I'm just enjoying what I'm doing with Chris and with the working out and the weightlifting and stuff like that to keep everything. It's clear to me that I've trained my leg muscles to compensate for the inadequacies of my knees. So yeah, but I'm not in any pain. I just don't dare run
That's good.
anymore.
Then my oldest daughter, she ended up started out at Fredonia College, and
Okay.
then she ended up transferring to Binghamton University. Then she got her master's degree at Columbia, and she's working on her doctorates at Columbia right now.
Wow.
And youngest daughter is got her master's at Portland, bachelor's
Oh,
at
wow.
Portland.
And what's her degree in?
Which one?
Either one.
The oldest has an applied behavior analysis degree,
Okay.
Okay.
and the youngest one is a teaching degree.
Oh man, so you got teachers. What's your son doing again?
Last we knew, he was working in a grocery store. We don't have a lot of contact with him right now.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So, tell me, going back to school, um, what were I mean, you and I had several classes together, and we had a lot of interaction together, probably because of bullying and whatnot. But what are some of your favorite memories of school, if you have any?
I enjoyed playing soccer as a senior. Don't really have a lot of memories from there. I was kind of quiet and didn't really get involved with a lot of stuff.
You were kind of under the radar.
Yeah, I enjoyed bowling. Not that it was a school event, but
Did you ever do that gym bowling like I did, where you could take your gym class down the bowling alley? Did you ever do that?
yeah, yeah, that's where I got my highest game there.
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
even have an idea that you could do that. You could take bowling
Yeah.
for your PE credit.
Yep. Coach Smith.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
How did you
Yep.
get to the bowling alley?
Bus. They had a bus for us.
They ran a bus down there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Was it a short bus?
And no, easy. And to boot, we didn't have to pay for it. Or at least,
Really?
That's
yeah,
where
well, I'll tell you what, because Marge Puderbaugh, who ran the bowling lanes, her and George, had some favorites. I'm not sure if Wayne remembers this, but if we bowled on her Saturday morning league, we didn't have to pay the fees to bowl for school gym. We just could bowl for free. Do you remember that, Wayne?
I remember we didn't pay, but I didn't know that was the reason.
That was the reason. Yeah, Marge hooked us up.
That's cool. I had
They
no
got
idea.
It got to the point where even up to the time I left,
Mhm.
me and Tim and Slyke and I, we never, and probably a couple other people, now I think about it, we had it so good with Marge and George Puderball, we didn't have to pay for bowling when we went there. We could just go in there and get a lane.
Really?
But I think that's because they knew they were retiring and getting rid of it.
So did this mythical bowling take place during lunchtime or after school?
No, it was during school.
So you went down there for like fifth period or fourth
Yeah,
period?
correct. Yeah, whatever your gym period was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a ball doing that. It was great.
Where was I?
The best in class there was.
Yeah, it was my favorite class.
Nice.
Because Coach Smith used to make fun of me because I didn't do any. I did a little bit of indoor track, but he knew I was good at bowling. He would always watch me bowl. He was like, "Oh, Jackson's going to come down and kick our butt again," because he bowled too. So Coach Smith was all right. Coach Smith was all right. Who was your favorite teachers back in the day, Wayne? Do you have any favorite teachers? Anybody that influenced you or that you really admired?
Probably Mr. Styles.
Oh, that seems to be a running favorite. Wouldn't you agree, Dave?
I would
did a lot of
agree.
Styles. Yeah.
He gets a
Another one
lot of honorable mentions.
Another one I liked a lot, and a lot of people didn't like, was Mr. Hugo.
Now, okay, so give me
I'll
the
never
pro and the
forget his
con of
rule
Mr.
of
Hugo.
whacking the desk.
He
What's
used-
that?
Give me the pro and the con of Mr. Hugo. Why do you think people didn't like him, and why do you think you liked him?
I liked him because he got the point across, and I think a lot of people didn't like him. They'd fall asleep because he was so monotone. I also like Mrs. Lieberman.
Who did? Who didn't? That's Dave's favorite.
Mrs.
tell you.
Lieberman was my favorite.
You said you ran into her in a mall in North Carolina, didn't you? Several years ago.
I looked her up one time down here and went to one of her son's soccer games and sat with her. It was probably 94-ish because I took my son and he sat on my lap and we watched one of the soccer games with her son.
Aw,
Oh,
that's a nice memory.
and we reflected fondly.
Was she just as funny and just as chipper? Was she kind of laid back?
She was
What do you?
she was bitter. No.
No, she was better. Seymour. I remember you.
I remember you. You made my class.
You and your horrible friends.
You and your horrible friends. That's right. I'll get your dog too.
That's right. So
No,
was math your because of what did Mr. Stiles teach again? Was it math? I
yeah.
Yeah,
remember.
he's geometry, I
So,
believe.
so was math your favorite subject in school?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, Danny Stiles taught geometry, and didn't he teach calculus in 12th grade?
yeah, he taught calculus.
Yeah.
Did
And
you
I can't
take
remember
calculus?
what's that?
Did you take calculus?
Yeah, then I took 4 semesters of it in college.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
From Dr. Muse.
Yeah, he was another very monotone person.
He had a quirky sense of humor. The guy up at TC3 who's Dr. Muse. And he would just sort of ramble on. Anyway, it was funny.
Then he'd go out and be talking at the over the basketball court instead of in the classroom. You never knew what he was going to say.
What? What?
Be out there yelling out there, and
While class was in session?
well, he was teaching the class, and he'd go out in the hallway and start talking into the over the basketball thing. You remember that, don't you, Dave?
At TC3, they had that open balcony that you overlook the basketball court.
Basketball court. Yeah, yeah.
So the noise was everywhere. And, if you opened your door because it got stuffy in the room or whatever, you could hear all the gym noise
Right.
and it would disrupt class. And so Mr. Muse would go out in the hall and try to teach from out there, just yelling into the classroom and come back.
What a horrible design.
It's gone now.
Yeah. They enclosed, I think, the whole second floor now, right? So it's all like the balcony doesn't really exist anymore.
Right.
They've retrofitted. There were a number of things that were wrong with that building.
I just remember thinking it was the coolest place to go up and just roam around and just explore. And I played basketball there, and swam in there, and racquetball in there.
Dave and I played racquetball a lot. Dave Seymour and I.
Yes.
Oh,
We had to take a PE credit, right? So we played racquetball was a choice. So we went in
Still
there
play
and
now,
we
Dave?
pardon?
You still play?
I played up until about 10 years ago because there used to be a court near where I worked. And so we had a group of guys that went over. And then when I started working from home, the gym got too far away. And so right now I'm chasing the pickleball right now.
are you really?
Tried that yet.
I played today.
Wait, hang on. This is breaking news. Hang on, Wayne. We got to settle this. You're pickleballing it?
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, Dave. Would you like to play some pickleball?
I'm mildly fascinated. Do you play pickleball, Wayne?
No, our church has a league. I keep saying I'm going to try it, but I never have. They get
So what I
pretty
was going to ask
competitive.
is, so where are you living now? Are you living in Groton?
Still in Groton,
Okay.
on Lick Street, right around the corner from Rhonda, Robin. Marie used to be there, but she sold and lives on the lake now.
Who was that?
Marie used to be Motzi Robeson.
Oh, I didn't realize you.
Okay. All right. Now, let me ask you this. Is it the same Groton from 1980?
No,
Meaning-
I don't think.
Meaning, is it better or worse than it was way back in our day?
As far as
I just remember going down through Groton and feeling very what's what I'm looking for? Out of place. Maybe because I was from Dryden. It just seemed like such an odd town to me back then.
I don't know if it seems odd to me, I guess because I live there, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not a thriving town. A lot of
Yeah.
drugs and stuff downtown.
Right.
Well,
Is that bowling alley still down in that? What was it? I don't remember. Moose Hall or
It was the Smith Corona Lodge, but it's still
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
is it really?
yeah. It's only got I think 8 lanes.
Okay.
Viking had 10, right?
Yeah, Viking had 10. Going back to this whole running thing. When you were training, I remember when you and I were talking before we did the Leaf Peeper Marathon thing. What was your training regimen back then when you're prepping for the half marathons? No, like 4 years ago, 5 years
4
ago.
years ago, I would try to do a long run every week and 2 or 3 short runs in the middle.
Okay.
What's a long run?
When it gets close to the half marathon, probably 10 to 12 miles.
What was your last half marathon? What's your last half marathon time? And what's your best half marathon time so far?
Last half marathon I did was the bridge run in Binghamton last year, and I think my time was about 2:40,
Okay.
and that's been about my typical time now. I've slowed down a little.
Yeah.
From my best was like 2:15.
Yeah. That's hauling the mail right there. That's a good run.
Now, is Peggy still running?
No, she's got knee issues right now, possibly getting a knee replacement.
Okay.
Ooh, Blanche had both her knees replaced, and I'm doing my best to avoid that. So
Hopefully I don't get there. My knees are good right now.
yeah, I'm happy for him, man. I'm glad you're still running. That gives me great joy to know that you're still doing that. Yeah, Dave, it was we did the Leaf People run was in Cortland, right? Was that where it was?
Yeah.
It was Cortland,
Yeah.
right? That was an interesting run, Dave. It was straight down one road and right back. It was, I just remember that. What was that road, Wayne, that we went down? That one long stretch and turned around.
I'm not sure of the name of the road.
Dude, Dave, it was just like get out of the park, one straight, like, 6 miles down or 5 miles down. And
Where did you start?
yeah, where did we start, Wayne? I don't remember that.
That was at Yeaman Park.
Yaman Park. That's right.
I think it's East River Road.
That was a bizarre run.
Why do I not remember where Yemen is?
Man, I got many a memory of Yaman Park when I was little.
That was in Cortland.
Yeah,
In Cortland.
yeah. Spent a lot of time at that
Near
park with Carlene and
81.
Eileen.
Right near Route 81.
Yeah, I looked it up just because I couldn't remember nothing.
Does Yaman Park still have that beach on that pond? I remember they had a real nice beach right there on that
Yeah,
water.
they still have that.
Wow. Yeah, we used to do a lot of picnics there. Mom would say, "Bring who you want. Let's go." Then we went.
How'd that go again, Dave?
We bring who you want. So we went. Let's go. That's how it went. Just like that.
Let's see if I can get this to go. There it is.
There it is.
Yemen
Man.
Park, because I looked it up. I was like, where that? Look at that lonely lifeguard chair there.
Yeah. And there's picnic tables up there and little, soda machines, and it was nice. It was a nice place for the kids to go. Water was always warm.
Wonder why
Lovely.
that was.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to ask us, Wayne? You got anything going on? What are you doing right now? How far are you from retiring? When are you going to retire, man? I know that was multiple questions there, but work with me.
Shooting for early next year. Hopefully
Okay.
things go as planned.
What do you do at Borgwarner?
Make tensioners, which are part of the timing system. And
So
the
this is
line out,
transmissions?
yeah. And the line I'm on, we make them for Nissan.
I didn't know that they sourced car parts that way.
Yeah.
Guess it makes sense.
We make parts for GM, Subaru, Nissan, Ford, Chrysler.
So how many years total you have with them now?
27.
Wow.
Do you have to hit a number to get a pension or anything like that, or a certain milestone?
They don't have pensions or anything like that, just your 401k.
Okay, yeah.
And
Nobody has pensions anymore.
I think,
it's,
I think Verizon was last. I mean, we had a pension. I was like, oh, all right, okay, all right. Yeah, they're pretty rare.
Yeah.
They're very rare. I would say they're very rare.
All right, I'm going to share one picture here.
There you are. Look at that head of hair.
yep. I was a hippie back then.
What happened? When did you start losing your hair, Wayne?
I never did. I just started shaving it.
You start
Are you-
shaving.
You mean to tell me you could have a crop of hair like Dave or me right now?
I don't know if I could ever get it as long as you, Dave, and I
What
could
about
never get a
Doug?
beard like Dave.
See, nobody can do that, man. Nobody.
Was what sport is this? Is this soccer or is this something else?
It's soccer.
Okay. How did Dryden? And you only played your senior? You played your senior year?
Just my senior year, yeah.
Okay.
We had a very poor soccer team back then.
It was, what did you say, poor?
Poor. We
You
did.
played with
I don't-
Jeff. Dave's a little miffed at me because I cropped the picture, but so you play. He's giving me the stink eye. You play with Jeff. Jeff was on your team with you.
Jeff
Well,
Markle,
Steve
see,
Ford,
Steve Plord.
I see.
Draghi?
And then was,
Yeah.
who's that?
John Draghi. I remember right?
John Draghi, yeah.
I see John Draghi here. I see
Yep.
Tom Ball. I see Plord.
So you guys didn't have a good record.
I don't think we won any.
I blame it on the coaching.
Who was
Well,
the soccer coach?
Go ahead, Wayne. Give it to him.
Borowitz.
Mr. Borowitz, Coach Borowitz.
He never taught at Dryden, did he? He was just,
Yeah, I don't know
Came in
where he
coach.
came from. They found him in Groton. I don't know.
did they?
They brought over the Groton coach. Turned out he was a double agent.
Yeah, he was scoping information about for the football team and the basketball team. He was a spy.
He was sniffing.
Half of our practice was just running. We never hardly practiced soccer, it seemed like.
I should ask Jeff about that. That's funny.
That's right. Working on foot skills.
Well,
I got another thing. So what kind of
Yeah,
hobbies
did
you got these days? Any hobbies?
Basically running, indoor biking. I want to get a regular bike to bike outside, but I haven't as of yet.
Like indoor bike, not as in stationary, but as in a lap bike?
No, recumbent cycle, stationary.
I was
And
going to say, I didn't know if there were any tracks available inside.
no.
for a guy that professes that you don't like treadmills, but you'll ride on an indoor bike,
Treadmills, I just don't like. It feels like the whole house starts shaking, and if you want to get any speed.
I just don't like running.
unless I'm being chased.
Well, then I don't have to be fast. I just have to be faster than you.
All right, I know Dave's got some more questions because he has a good
I do?
question list. Because I'm trying to find mine now. Go ahead, Dave.
All right. So the question of the day is, looking back now, what kind of advice, having lived this luxurious life after high school, what kind of advice would you give to yourself as an 18-year-old Wayne? Now that you've gained wisdom of the ages.
Probably would have went to school a little longer, got a better job.
Okay. Stay in school, work hard.
Right.
Speaking of that, do you have any plans for when you retire?
Yes. Good question. Good question.
No specific plans. We'd like to do some traveling a little bit, and hopefully my wife's knees get good enough we can do some hiking.
Do you like camping or like going places, or what do you like?
I like going places. I'm not much of a fan of camping.
More of an indoor guy.
Well, I know you like driving to New York City.
I do.
I heard some story somewhere about you going to New York City and you wouldn't drive.
I won't. My daughter drives us around.
Okay.
She drives to school there 2-3 times a week, and
Knows her way around.
yeah, pretty much. She knows where not to go.
I know we're kind of bouncing around here a bit, but we never asked. I'm kind of curious. I kind of think I know who it is, but who was your core group that you hung around with in high school, or did you have one?
Well,
Who was your set group of buds or budettes?
probably you, Brian, Jeff Markle,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Cosentini, Jeff Davenport. I think that was pretty much it.
That's a solid bunch right there. It's a good looking group right there.
All bowlers.
Yeah,
Actually,
right.
I think we all were.
I think we all were because Jeff. You're right. Jeff Davenport bowled with us. He did. Yeah, he sure did. All bowlers. So, anyways, that was a good group. You named off a good bunch of people right there, Wayne. Nice job.
Then outside of school, hung out mostly with people in Freeville. That
Oh,
were,
for example.
well, Rod Riker.
Yep.
He
Well,
was
he
the only
lived-
one there.
Rod
He was the
Riker
only
lived
one in our
across
class.
from the IGA, right?
No, he lived across from where the Honey Butter used to be.
Yeah, he was on Main Street though, right?
No, he was on. You go up. You know where Postals lived?
Well, I know where the Honey Butter plate is, but Who ran the restaurant that was across the road from the IGA, sort of kitty corner?
That was Rod's grandparents,
Right. There was
Christine
like
and
a
Ross
diner.
Fungus. Right.
I'd forgotten all about that diner because I knew that was a Riker facility, a Riker diner.
Right. Right.
Riker Diner. I like that.
And then there was in Freeville, there was Leo Shaw, younger than me,
Hmm.
Brad Postal, and Jim Westfall. And then older than me, there was Jeff Dans, Tina Kinsman, and Steve Dans. That's who I hung out with mostly there. Mostly probably be Rod, and Steve Teeter was there too.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And Rod Riker also bowled with us, Dave. Just so you know.
Yeah, he
I
got
wouldn't doubt
really good.
And finally, because I know this is always a great question to ask, people always kind of shy away from it. Did you get in any trouble in school?
Not really.
Oh, not really. It's not a no or yes.
It's a no.
Okay.
You carjack anything or,
You didn't jump out of a window, stab a squirrel for Mrs. Lieberman or anything like that?
No.
You didn't put
Stab
things in. You didn't put anything in Mr. Hugo's coffee. Didn't
No,
skip. You didn't skip a class.
I'm sure I skipped a class, but I can't remember which one.
Ha! So you did do something.
those memories have been banished.
You never did no mischief whatsoever.
No,
Right.
not me.
There's no statute of limitations here, Wayne. You're good to go, man. Don't worry
No
about it.
detentions on anything.
I don't recall any detentions.
Wow.
I was just quiet and withdrawn.
There you go.
Clean as the driven snow.
Clean as the driven snow. That's it.
All right. So you got anything for us, Wayne? We're gonna go ahead and call it a night, buddy. If you got anything for us, ask us anything. I'm an open book. I don't know about Dave. He's a sniffling book right now.
I'm a sniffle book.
But you got anything for us? Any questions? Anything you want to know? Updates? What you got?
You still playing bass? Playing
I
guitar?
play enough to say that I can still play.
And Dave's playing in the band, church band, right?
Well, I'm playing in the church band and then I'm playing in a party band.
Night shift, is it?
Night shift, that's right. And this year we have gotten about, I want to say about 2 or 3 gigs per month for the rest of the year.
That's awesome, by the way.
Always local or?
We play anywhere from Raleigh to the coast. So we do
music do you
Raleigh
play?
and, Morehead City, Greenville, New Bern, all kind of around the area. We
And
did
music do you play?
a St. Patrick's Day gig this last weekend. It's all good.
Kind of music do you play?
Music that you wouldn't enjoy.
Music that I wouldn't enjoy. I enjoy all music.
That's probably true.
There's no Rush.
There's no Dream Theater.
There's no Dream Theater.
There's no Dio.
No, we do a standard, pop rock company kind of wedding band stuff. We play that funky music.
I like
And
that.
we even do let's see, Carrie Underwood and some Miley Cyrus these days.
Ooh.
Trying
All
to keep up with the young folks.
Trying to be relevant.
Trying to be relevant, that's it, kind of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what people love more than anything is late 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Anything Journey related, anything Doobie Brothers related, all that kind of stuff.
I like Journey.
Yep.
Journey stuff.
Oh.
And the other
Confessions of
day,
Wayne. I like Journey.
And the other Dave there, do you still listen to Atlanta Rhythm Section all the time?
Well, not all the time.
I
Yes.
remember at your house, Champagne Jam, all the time you played that.
Oh,
That's right.
because it had the big bass solo in it.
And the big bass
Yep.
solo on.
Yep.
And before I even picked up a bass guitar, I played on a broom.
How'd that sound?
Horrible.
Horrible. Horrible.
Oh,
Coming out of that little combo you had.
yeah. All right, Wayne. Well, you've been an awesome pal for all these years, man. I've always enjoyed bowling with you. I love hearing about all your running stories. Thank you for introducing me to Rush. I'm sorry I blew you off for the first couple years of doing that, but
First 20 years, yeah.
I appreciate the band completely now, and I've had a conversation with Getty Lee now, so I'm really happy about that. Did I tell you about that, Wayne?
I think you mentioned it. You saw him on his Big Book of Bass tour. Or
That's
several-
correct. I got to tell him a story.
Yep.
It's my rock and roll highlight right there.
Well, which came first, Getty Lee or high school?
High
If
school.
you look chronologically, I can understand
Maybe
that.
it's just first in, first out, right? Everything pushes one out.
Yeah, remember that new commercial? You got to forget something to remember something.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's it.
All right, old friend. Well, thank you for coming on. As always, it's always great talking to you. Please keep me updated on your running. Don't stop doing that. Do it as long as you can. Just do it as long as you can, man. And tell Peggy I said hello. Is she to your stage left or stage right now? She
You just
there?
got
It's on my left. You're right.
Peggy, say hello.
Hi, Peggy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How did Wayne do, Peggy? Did you do okay?
Yeah, I did okay.
All right. Did he get any dates wrong?
Well, he started to, but then he corrected himself.
All right. All right. Keep him straight. All right.
Yep.
All right, dear.
All right.
All right. Well, good talking to you, old friend. Thank you for coming on, man.
All right.
Talk to
Thanks,
you
Wayne.
later. Bye.
All
All
right.
right, Wayne. Take
Have a
care.
fun night. All right. Bye.